Hello guys, and welcome to this video tutorial of Inventor 2018. The topic of the day will be hull modeling using surface modeling techniques. Some of you will say that there are more appropriate softwares to carry out this job, like Maxer or Rhino. However, that doesn't mean that this job cannot be done using Inventor, even though that it will be more time consuming. So we have to work with what we can get. I'm going to start by drawing a 2D sketch of my XY plane. Now I am going to draw a rectangle for my origin point, and I'm going to make it 10,000 by 1,500. Now percent. I'm going to highlight all of it, and I'm going to turn it into construction line. So all this is just going to be my limiting envelope, because I want my boat to be no longer than 10 meters. I don't want the depth to exceed 1.5 meters. So I'm going to finish this sketch. I'm going to start another sketch again on the XY plane, and I'm going to start by drawing probably my keel. I'm going to use splines. Be careful, we're using control vertex splines, simply because control points will allow us to modify the shape of our spline with more ease. So my spline is going to start roughly here, and I want to have a smooth curve going down. Again, if you're not happy with your shape, you can always drag your control points down. Oops. Be careful when you drag them. And now I'm going to draw another spline. It's going to be my bow. It's going to go from here. That's what I'm after. And now I'm going to draw another spline that goes in this direction. There's going to be my decks. Gunwale. So I'm happy with this shape. If you want to modify anything, just use your control points. So now I'm going to finish this sketch, and I am going to draw a sketch of the XZ plane. what I will do next, I will use project geometry and select my gun wheel, only that one. And now I will turn off the previous sketch tool, just so I don't have any other geometry intersected. So I'm going to look at it from the top view, and I'm going to draw another spline. So my bow will be here. I want it to have roughly this shape. So that's going to be my gun wheel, the horizontal projection. So if I finish this sketch, now what we'll do, I'll turn sketch tool on, under this video. Okay. And now what we'll most likely do is start a 3D sketch. And now I'm going to say include geometry. I'm going to select my kill. And I'm going to click on finish sketch. So this is going to be, I'm going to rename it. I'm going to call my sketch kill. Now we'll create another 3D sketch. I'll select I'll go and include geometry again. Select my bow. Yeah, select it now. I think it selected my control points line, so I'll delete that. Because I don't want that geometry to interfere with what we've got. That's great. So I'm going to finish sketch. I'm going to call this one bow or forward. Now that I have this, I am going to I'm going to open my sketch tool. And I'm going to turn these two lines into construction lines. So I'm going to select this line, both of them, and turn them into construction lines. Now I'm going to start another 3D sketch, but this time I'm going to use intersection count. I'm going to use my horizontal and vertical projection of my gun wheel to create the real 3D gun wheel. So I've got an intersection curve, selected both the horizontal and vertical, and now I'll click on OK. And that just created my gun wheel. Okay, so I'm going to finish sketch, and I am going to turn the visibility off for sketch tool. And sketch 3. So for the 3D sketch that we just created, I'm going to give it a name. I'm going to name it as Sailboat. So this is what we have so far. And I will create my aft section. So I'm going to start another 3D sketch. I'm going to create another spline. I'm going to create one point from the gunwale, then 2 points in between, and my endpoint is going to be on the keel. It is important that you do this from a front view, just so you can make sure that you're sketching parallel to the y-axis. Now I'll look at it from my left face, so I can edit the curve. I created 2 control points, so now I can modify the shape and get a shape that I want. So this should be fine. I'm going to look at it again, another perspective. Yeah, my recommendation: don't drag your control points from an isometric view. So even if you think that you're moving in the right direction, then when you change your view, you have offset it in the wrong direction as well. So yeah, either use your front and left face to move them around. Okay, perfect. So I'm going to finish the sketch. I'm going to fold this aft. And now we'll run a quick test. I'm going to go on loft. And I'm going to select my aft section, forward section. So as you can see, it's creating a surface between those 2 sections. And now where it says rails, I'm going to click here in order to add. Make sure that you are on surface rather than solid, because we're doing surface modeling today. So click on rails to add rails. I'm going to add my gunwale as a rail. As you can see, it's perfectly working. So the surface is following the gunwale. And now I'm going to add the keel. Okay, so it is also working, as you can probably see. That's great. Okay. So this was just a test, because sometimes the loft will fail. So if it fails, it will be because either this section or this section is not intersecting with your keel rail or your gunwale rail. So you have to make sure that those 2 are intersected with your profile. So always run this quick test before we proceed, because at least if we proceed now, we know that it will be our sections was not intersecting with the rails. But okay, so the next step, let's just create a few sections. So I'm going to start 3D sketch. I'm going to create another spline, and then I'm going to create a section here. So again, 2 control points in between. So the reason why I'm only adding 2 control points in between is because it will be easier for us to edit our control points, as you can probably see. So these sections will allow us to give it more of a shape to our whole design. So in my case, I want quite a sharp bow, almost like an axe bow, not completely, but so I'm going to make it relatively sharp. Okay, I'll finish the sketch. So you can see it's all intersecting. Now I'm going to create another sketch. The one that I already have, I'll call it section 1, so S1. And I'm going to press spline roughly here. Maybe I'll hide section 1 so I gain more visibility. Oh, it was actually my stair, the one that was on the way. So I've just turned the other 3D sketch off from my model tree so I don't get confused with my lines. And now I will give it a bit of shape as well. Finish the sketch. Maybe I will create another section and name my previous one S2. Maybe it's not the best idea to name them as you create them, because if I wanted to create another section in between, then I would obviously have to rename all of them. So maybe best to just leave the default names and then change it afterwards. Or you simply can leave the default sketch names. This won't make any difference if you're modeling. Okay, so I'm going to create another spline. I'll create another section maybe around midships. So just feel free to give your boat any shape you want. This is just an example. So for this one, we'll just look at this one now. I'll create another sketch. I'll draw another spline roughly around here. Here I'm happy with the default shape of my spline. Then maybe I'll create one more section. So start 3D sketch, spline. And I also have a section. Okay, so I'm going to finish my sketch. I'll turn on the visibility of my app section again. And now we'll do a loft. So I'll go loft. Normally people tend to just select all the sections first and the rails at the end. I'll do it the other way around, because if one of my sections is not intersected, I will be able to spot it. Whereas if you select all of your sections first, then you select your rails, and one of the sections is not intersecting, you will not know what section is the one that is not intersected. So I'll select my rails, and I will start selecting the section to the left. Looks like they're all intersecting so far. Okay, overall I'm quite satisfied with that. Just clicking OK. So as you can see, it has generated my surface. It's quite hard to analyze. So I'm going to go on my model tree, and under surface bodies, I'm going to right click on the surface, and where it says translucent, I'm going to turn it off. So now I can see the surface a bit better. Okay. So if you are not happy with your surface, what you can do is you can either, let's say, go back on your loft, double click on any section that you would like to edit, write your control points, finish it, and then your loft will automatically load and update with whatever feature you added. And if not, the only thing you can do is just add more sections in between the ones you have already, so you can modify your whole shape and make it look like the way you want. So I think this is fine for this tutorial, and if I was actually designing a hole, I would probably spend a couple of hours at maybe 10-20 sections and make it look really pretty, but this is not the point of the tutorial, so I'm going to move on. Interesting features from Inventor. If we go on inspect, you can, for example, inspect the curvature of your surface. So just select your surface. I'm going to leave the density maybe halfway, and then I'm going to click on apply. So yeah, this shows the curvatures of my hole. So as you can see, all of these parts is quite small. There is a bit of a transition in here, and there is quite of an intense transition between the bow and the midships. So it's a good indicator of your surfaces that will allow you to visualize what they're like in reality. So it is a powerful tool. Then if you're unhappy, you can obviously see the areas that need improvement and modify those cards to make them look better. Yeah, and here you can just increase your density. So now it is actually on because I clicked on apply and accept. So now it's on my model tree under analysis. So see a curvature one, you can turn it on and off, I believe, or in my case I'm just going to delete it. This was just to show you that the tool is there in case you would like to use it. You also have your surface tool that allows you to see, for example, the mean curvature of your surface. It's taking a while to load. However, you normally have to select your range in order to be able to see it. Now the range is pretty small, so it's only detecting my mean curvature in this area. So anyway, I just wanted to show you that these tools are here. They are very, very helpful to use. So if you like, if you request it, I will do another tutorial on how to use those tools. Go into more detail about it. For now, I'm just going to focus on this whole module. Okay, so in order to proceed, probably the next thing that we should do is probably mirror our hull. Actually, before we mirror it, I will create my transom, because that's something that some of you may have probably noticed, that why a flat transom. I'm not intending to have a flat transom, but it's a common practice from naval architects that when they do surface modeling, they just leave a flat transom and then trim it at an angle, which is probably the easiest way to do it. So, okay, first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to create an axis, and I'm going to say my axis is going to go parallel to line through point. So this is going to be my point, and I want it to go parallel to the Z axis. So I'm going to expand my origin in my model tree. I'm going to select my Z axis. So I've just created an axis going through that. And now I'm going to create a plane, and I want to say angle to plane around edge. So I want it to be parallel to my YZ, but I want it at an angle. Around edge. So I'm going to select my axis, and I'm going to select my YZ plane. Okay, so here we can see it. So whatever angle you want to give it, guys, I think something like -30 would be okay. Maybe, yeah, -30, I'm happy with that. So I'm going to click on OK. And the next thing that I'm going to do, I'm going to use surface trim, which is here, trim surface. So click on it. First you have to select the cutting tool. I think it has already selected it, which is our plane. And now you select what surface you want to remove, this one or this one. It's quite evident, so click on the surface and click on apply. That's it, we've trimmed our surface. I'm going to turn off my plane. I'm going to turn off my axis. Okay, next thing, we probably want to have our hole mirrored. So I'm going to use mirror. You all know how to use this tool already, so I'm going to select my surface. My mirror plane will be the XY plane. And now click on OK. So that's my surface there now. Again, if you're not happy with it, just I'm going to make it translucent. Yeah, it's looking better. Okay, next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to probably turn it into solid. So I'm going to start another 3D sketch. And I'm going to draw a straight line from this point to this point. And I'll click on Finish Sketch. Again, I do believe that if you would like to edit it, you should be able to just realized something. Oh, okay. I've just done something wrong. When I mirrored my surface, I didn't mirror the trim. So I'll go on Edit Feature. And then on Features, I will also add my trim. I'll click on it. I'll delete my 3D sketch. I was already wondering, it was looking a little bit odd. So now I'm going to create a 3D sketch. I'm going to create a straight line from this point to this point. And I'll go and finish sketch now. Next thing we want to do in order to turn it into a solid, we want to create a boundary patch. I'm going to go on boundary patch. And I'm going to make sure that automatic edge shade is not ticked. I'm going to select these 3 edges. And then it will create a boundary surface between them 3. Now I'm just going to click on apply. And now we'll do the same with the top. So one here, here, and here. Okay, so next thing I'm actually going to do, I will turn all of this into a solid volume. So I'm going to select Stitch Surface. And now as you can see here, I have all of my surface body, so my 2 halves, my transom. So I'm going to select my deck, my transom, and the 2 halves. And now I'll click on apply. So it will turn all of this enclosed volume into a solid. Unless you click on maintain as a surface. There we go. So we've got a solid now. You can probably see the axe bow a little bit better now. It's not the greatest axe bow I've seen before, obviously, but considering I didn't put much effort into it, it's not looking too bad. Okay. I'll save my pad. I'll save my bow, just in case Inventor crashes. And now this is where it gets a little bit tricky. Okay, some of you may think, okay, I would like to actually hollow my boat in order to add some decks, bulkheads, etc. So, it sometimes works, sometimes doesn't. It's to do with the Inventor, nothing you can do about it. It's the shell tool. Okay, I suspect that in this case it won't work because these sections are a bit too narrow. So when it's that thing that Inventor won't be able to shell it. I believe it may actually work. So let's try. So here where it says thickness, I'll make it maybe 6 mil. And now I'll try to remove this space. Yeah, it will be because of this section over here. Okay. There is a way around it though, so I will show you. So I'll save my pad. I'll go into my folder where I'm storing it. I'll create a copy of it. And now here I will go on derive. Again, you do need to create a copy. Okay, so basically it's just placing the same volume on top of the original. So now all you have to do is give a scale factor, so let's say 0.98 maybe. Click on OK. And now under solid bodies you should have two different solids. So you can see my I just placed the second volume inside of the other one. Okay. Great. So now what I will do, you can always edit your derive. So let's say you can double click on it. Start open it. I just deleted that by accident, so I will derive it again. I'll make it 0.96. Okay, so now I'm going to go modify, move bodies, and I'm going to move my body. So my offset in the y direction is going to be, let's try 10. Let's try 100. Bit too much. 50. There we go, 80 is fine. I'm just placing my volume where I want it to be. And now my X offset is going to be maybe 50. 80 as well. Yeah, 80 seems reasonable. I'll make it 75. No, this is a bit better. Okay, and I'll click on apply now. So now that I've got my underlay volume in place, I am going to use the combine command. My base is going to be my normal model, and my tool body is going to be the solid we just placed, and I'm going to use subtract, cat. And I'll click on apply. There we go, so it just shelled it. So yeah, depending on your thickness, you will have to scale it bigger or smaller. This is just an example, so I didn't go a lot about it. Maybe let's give it a nicer view style. There we go, that looks a little bit better. Nice one, shadows, reflections. Maybe we can get a nice render of it. So I've got a standard render of it, and that's it for today, guys. I was thinking maybe I could do another tutorial on hull modeling and surface modeling, but maybe in the next one we could do something like a planing hull or just a different type of design. Just let me know what you think, guys. Any proposal will be welcome. So yeah, thank you for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.